Sefer Shemot, Parashat Shemot, 5th Aliyah. Go and gather the elders of Yisrael and say to them, Hashem, the God of your forefathers, has appeared to me, the God of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, saying, I have surely remembered you, and what is done to you in Egypt. And I have said, I shall bring you up from the affliction of Egypt to the land of the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Amorite, the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, to a land flowing with milk and honey. They will heed your voice. You and the elders of Yisrael shall come to the king of Egypt and say to him, Hashem, the God of the Hebrews, happened upon us. And now, please let us go on a 3-day journey in the wilderness, and we shall bring offerings to Hashem, our God. I know the king of Egypt will not allow you to go, except through a strong hand. I shall stretch out my hand, and I shall strike Egypt with all my wonders that I shall perform in its midst. And after that he will send you out. I shall grant this people favor in the eyes of Egypt, so that it will happen that when you go, you will not go empty-handed. Each woman that requests from her neighbor and from the one who lives in her house silver vessels, gold vessels, and garments, and you shall put them on your sons and daughters, and you shall empty out Egypt. Moshe responded and said, But they will not believe me, and they will not heed my voice, for they will say, Hashem did not appear to you. Hashem said to him, What is that in your hand? And he said, A staff. He said, Cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and it became a snake. Moshe fled from it. Hashem said to Moshe, Stretch out your hand and grasp its tail. He stretched out his hand and grasped it tightly, and it became a staff in his palm, so that they shall believe that Hashem, the God of their forefathers, appeared to you, the God of Abraham, and the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Yaakov. Hashem said further to him, Bring your hand to your bosom. And he brought his hand to his bosom. Then he withdrew it, and behold, his hand was leprous like snow. He said, Return your hand to your bosom. And he returned his hand to his bosom. Then he removed it from his bosom, and behold, it reverted to be like his flesh. It shall be that if they do not believe you and do not heed the voice of the first sign, they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it shall be that if they do not believe even these 2 signs and do not heed your voice, then you shall take from the water of the river and pour it out on the dry land. And the water that you shall take from the river will become blood when it is on the dry land. Moshe replied to Hashem, Please, my Lord, I am not a man of words, not since yesterday, nor since the day before yesterday, nor since you first spoke to your servant, for I am heavy of mouth and heavy of speech. Then Hashem said to him, Who makes a mouth for man, or who makes one dumb or deaf, or sighted or blind? Is it not I, Hashem? So now go, I shall be with your mouth and teach you what you should say. He replied, Please, my Lord, send through whomever you will send. The wrath of Hashem burned against Moshe, and he said, Is there not Aaron your brother, the Levite? I know that he will surely speak. Moreover, behold, he is going out to meet you. And when he sees you, he will rejoice in his heart. You shall speak to him and put the words in his mouth, and I shall be with your mouth and with his mouth, and teach you both what you are to do. He shall speak for you to the people, and it will be that he will be your mouth, and you will be his leader. And this staff you shall take in your hand, with which you shall perform the signs.